I am so sorry. Can you just give me one more chance? Can you give me one more chance, please? Hey, it's me, AJD from the LA Hobbyist, and today is another Market Watch Saturday. So let's freaking go. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Sorry I've been MIA. I've been going to all these local shows, wheeling and dealing, having fun. And today we're going to go over EBO3. We're going to go over the current box prices, and single prices and case prices. We're also going to go over a few graded cards, Manga Shanks versus, BGS 10 Manga Shanks versus PSA 10 Manga Shanks. BOA SP BGS 10 versus PSA 10, Manga Nami BGS 10 versus PSA 10, and then the OP05 OG Manga Luffy PSA 10 versus the OP11 Gold Anniversary Manga Luffy. We got a lot to cover today, so we're right here. We're gonna start off with the box prices, and since its release, it's probably been a month right now, and right now it went from like $350 a box to $316. But again, in this channel, we don't just rely on market prices. We have to rely on what's sold and what's being listed. The fact that we look at what's being listed versus what's being sold versus the market prices helps us determine which price to ultimately price your stuff at and or buy your stuff at. So having all three as a frame of reference will help you decide what price to price things at, or what price you want to buy things at. So it's good for buying, it's good for selling, it's good that knowledge is power. So again, in this channel, we just don't look at the market, we're going to look at everything around it. So again, the market is at 316, right? The market is the overall reference to all the sales, even the biggest sales, and this one is just, I can't believe they factor this in. TCG player must have a better filtering tool for that, because they can't just put that on there. Like, that's too crazy. So the 28th alone, it's going down a little bit. It's going down. So about 320, 318 to 320. I call it 320, 300 to 300, 320, 320. There's more 320s than anything. So I call it 316, 320, whatever. And then we're going to look at that. Japanese. So the whole first page of listings are cooked. You can't even rely on that. So you go to the second page, and I'm going to go to my rule of thumb personally is to go and look for the highest seller, the highest volume seller. So right now they're at 318. I call it 320. When you round it up, it goes to 320. And yep. So right now, boxes from a month ago went from 350 all the way down to 320. That's just a $30 decrease. It's not bad. It's holding its own price-wise. So EBO3, the Gooner set, is staying alive, and that is pretty cool, but it's pretty high. I know all the players don't want to hear that. All the collectors are very happy with that. So let's look at the case price. The case price will only matter to you if you break the stuff. If you are on Whatnot, you're breaking, or you are looking to acquire a case. So most rookies in the hobby, yes, rookies, I'm looking at you, rookies, you're going to look at this and be like, okay, it's $4,200. Great. I'm going to fork over $4,200. Don't fork over $4,200 or even $37 to $4,000. Look at all of your options before you do this. I have to stress it out. Look at the three frame of references I've taught you while you've been tuning into these market watches. This is why you tune into these market watches, is for me to teach you how to look at these prices, how to get these prices at a reasonable price. Hopefully you're gonna look at this, and Yeah, it's going to 4,000, which is nuts. The last, but it's already March 28th, so this was 3 days ago, right? This is 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So it is holding steady around like the 3,700 range. Again, don't look at this number and cook yourself. Although, if you are a seller, you're going to look at this and you're like, all right, let me try to cook, right? But those of you who've subscribed to my YouTube channel have paid attention to my market watches. You're not getting cooked by this number because you know where to look, right? Obviously, people are putting it up for that number. Almost 4,200, 42, about 43 here, 43, 43, 44. Very reputable 44, 42 to 44. That's where it's going. True market is at 37 to 39. I want to call it 4,000. 37 to 4,000. It's a range. Obviously, I as a seller, I'm going to round that up to 4,000. And as a buyer, I'm going to try to stay at 37, 38. There's two sides to the coin every time. You're trying to sell it at 4,000 or as close to 4,000 as possible. And if you're a buyer, you're trying to buy it at 38 or a big, nice, round, juicy 80% comps of 3,800. So don't let anyone get one over you. And also, knowledge, again, knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can protect yourself, right? And then if you're like me, you got lots of friends everywhere, it's not going to matter. All right, so that's the EB03 case price, box price, and now we're going to go over to the single price. The single prices has been going nuts. Now, Uta wasn't my very favorite going into this, and it stabilized at almost 1,500, but do we check? Yes, we do. In this channel, you always have to reference check, and you're going to look at your 3 frame of references. You repeat after me. You're going to look after 3 frame of references, all right? So when you do that, think about it. You're not only going to look at market, you're going to look at the view more data, right? View more data, and guess what? Instead of cooking yourself for $1,500, you could have bought it for $1,100. Or what I like to say, I would vendor comp it at 80, 85 and pay 85 of this percentage, about 850, right? Or a little higher than that, like almost 900, rather than cooking yourself for 15 and percentaging it out at 80, 85%. Again, I just threw a bunch of numbers out there, right? Don't only rely on the market price, which is boom at 1,500, where the most recent sales are sub that, are below that. You just can't rely on one reference, right? So that, and people are gonna go fight it, and guess what? It's $1,000 with 50,000. There's $1,000 available with a 50,000 plus sale seller. So guess what? You can get it for 1,000. If someone is, pricing it at 1,500, honestly, you can get away with getting it for 850. That is 85% of 1,000. So it's a open season on Uta right now. It is what it is. Market is market, and we'll go from there. SP Nami. So again, my top 5 is already on here. So Nami, Robin, Boa. She was definitely not in my top 5. Not her. I don't think she was. I think these two were in my top 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these SP were in my top 10. Uta, I didn't really care about it, but obviously the manga should be in the top 5, top 10 at the very least of any set. So just think about it. Manga SPs should be your top 10, right? by default. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't even follow that law. So don't worry about it. So again, we have all of these. So 1300 SP Nami. I mean, boom, 1100. Yeah, 1100. Don't cook yourself. Always check. You always have to check. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you should know that you're checking all the time. So 945 right here. 945? 945? 945 is what she's going for. Holy tamale. Holy shit. She's dropped. She's dropping below 1,000, which is crazy. People. And the reason why they're dropping is because the OP15 is coming out next week. So people are selling their stuff fairly low. I remember when this chick was like 1,500 with that open cleavage right there. What the hell? All right. Boom, 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 boom. Sub way below 1,000. Great. It's great for me. I want to keep rinsing and repeating this move all day, every day. Even the market is $1,000. She's selling for about 700. This is about 900. This is about 1,100. This is about 1,000. Holy shit, she is barely making it to the top 5. Which, in my opinion, I think I am very right when I was making my prediction that she was gonna be below 1, and she's about to. Anywho, yeah, and then the Perona. I mean, all the SPs look nice. These two I want for my deck. The Nico Robin is becoming more and more affordable, which is nice. I need to alt my deck. So there you go. She's falling. She's free falling. I love it. Boom. Yep, right there. 80, 80, 80, 80. Perfect. I'm going to wait till she gets to 50, and then I'll maybe try to make a play on that. But I need a full playset of that. Ugh, full playset of everything. Oh, she is still too high. I honestly don't like this character. Not Nami, but like this card in general. I don't like as a Robin fanatic currently. I don't want my opponent getting a card in hand. I want my opponent just getting squeezed and me kind of pseudo starving them for a life instead of picking it up from life. I want to banish it to fuck with them even more, but no, I can't do that with this card. But if I have to go for lethal, perfect card to do that with. And then these are the, you know, just the basic stuff we're looking at. We're looking at Transvolgar Law here. I I've been wanting to say that, but hopefully I don't get canceled for that. We're looking at this law here, and it's stabilizing at like 15-20 bucks. Oh man, 18. These are all Japanese, so it's 19-20 bucks. You're looking at $20 to spend on this pretty playable card, mind you. So everyone's gonna use that for their like law deck or their supernova deck and all of that jazz. So yeah, even this Robin's like 16 bucks now, very affordable, pending a June ring print. So we may even look to see this case price, box price. It'll probably potentially move down, but how would you value that? Would you say this is gonna go down or up? Wouldn't you think this is the first wave of that versus the second wave? But there's no way, there's no cards to errata, I believe. I might be wrong, but in my opinion, I don't think there's any cards that need to be errata. So except the OP13 reprints will, I think, will have an errata. But again, the cases are mappable for EVO3. The cases are mappable. Let me see. I think I will give you the map to the hits basically. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I had a friend of mine just tell me where it is. Don't know where he got it from, but he seems to know his stuff. All things OP. So if you're looking at the top level of the case, you see the two boxes closest to you. So number 5 and number 6 when you're looking straight at it. So if you look at the box, right, that little square, one on your left side, two on your right, three on your left side, four on your right, five and six at the top, I believe. At the top level, five and six are the hits. Let me know if I'm right on that, and let me know if I burn everyone's spot there. But yeah, I heard these cases are mappable. I don't know about the rest of the cases, but that is freaking nuts. So boxes 5 and 6 are mappable. So hopefully no one uses this information to cook anyone else, but to just grab those boxes, open everything, just open everything, be nice, or sell the cooked boxes for way cheap for like MSRP. That's what I would do. Maybe. I think I'm just gonna rip all of it. I need to rip all of it. Ugh. Anyways, so that is it for EBO3. I can't believe the Goon set has come and gone very, very quickly. Pause. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the graded section. So again, if you find any of this information useful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at TheLAHobbyist. But now we're gonna go and we're gonna look at a couple of cards. So I'm just referring to my notes right here. We're gonna go with the BGS 10 BOA SP OP09 versus the PSA 10. So this is the BGS 10, and we're gonna look at view all sales. And right now, it has been crazy. Like, it's been floating between like 1400, then 1175, 1045. I mean, the last sold is like 1045, right? I mean, on average, is doing about 1200. But holy crap, 1045. It's free falling for some reason. Now's the time to buy. Now is the time to buy. The PSA versus the PSA 10, however, oh shoot, it is free falling. At some point, that whoa, what is this? Oof. Oh, okay. All right, but still, that's not a good look. Man, it is free falling. But yeah, so from 1200 to 1035, I'm ignoring this, to another $1,300 sale. What is going on? What is this last price sold here? Oh man, $1,300. Wow. So it is actually, so the argument between BGS versus PSA, people prefer BGS because one, it looks better with One Piece. Two, there's a potential black label premium. And three, they're supposed to be higher in comps, but now it's not looking like that. Like the last set sold on this card on the BGS SP BOA OP4 OP09 has gone to 1175 from 1400 to 1175 to $1,045. But when you look at here, you see the numbers dwindling there, but there's a $1,300 comp. The last sold versus each last sold is the 1,300 versus the 1045. 1,300 going to PSA versus the 1,045 BGS 10 SP BOA. What is going on here? It's happening. I don't know. Has anything happened to BGS lately that everyone's just turning their necks on them? What's going on? They're not, no one's looking at them anymore. It's quite a change, because usually the rule of thumb is BGS should be higher, right? Right now the numbers call it differently. Again, the numbers don't lie. Okay, so let's look at Manga Nami PSA 10. I mean, you're looking at 2,800. The estimated value is 2,950, almost 3K. I mean, it hit almost 3K here, 2,950. That's why you always have to look at view all sales instead of just looking at the one, versus the BGS 10 Manga Nami versus the BGS 10 Manga Nami. Boom. I mean, at one point it almost hit, but what the hell? They're almost tying. Like, a little, like, Fanatics is selling this card short for whatever reason. 2,800 versus the almost 3,000. Another round goes to PSA. PSA wins this second round. So again, BGS is supposed to be the higher comped card, right? Right now it's a tad bit lower, and if not, they're tied between. They've, like, a few weeks back they were tied. Trust me, I've gotten 3 of these already. So I am clean sweeping mangas right now. Mangas are at their all-time low. But again, that's why I wanted to try to look at the biggest manga of them all. But before we get there, we're going to look at the OP01 Shanks, and the OP01 Shanks is crazy right now. So this is a PSA 10 OP01 Shanks, and it's almost clearing $5,000 again. So we're at 4,600. I just sold one for 4,000, and guess what? That guy is just eating right now. 48, 48, 49, 49, 46.50. Holy shit. 46.50, right? Let's see where the Shanks is going. Boom. Let's see. I mean, it hit 5,000 at one point, 6,500 February, right? Yeah, that's February. March, it kind of declined at March. It's kind of picking back up at 4,500, but it should not be the same price overall, right? Again, almost the same price, but PSA takes this round again slightly at 4,650 versus the 4,500. That is nuts. And this is the OP01 Shanks. I'm looking at this because it's supposed to be the first manga ever. The first manga ever to come out in this universe, in this IP, in this card set, in this whole entire One Piece franchise. This is the first grail card that you were ever going to get in a set. Other than the out of 700 serialized Luffy, you know, this was the first thing to come out, right? And it's holding its value at 4,650. So, but it's also outpacing the BGS 10 for whatever reason. Again, the BGS loyalist will not like this information, but again, the numbers don't lie. BGS is being, you know, it's getting destroyed by PSA. You know, this round slightly, the slight win by PSA is pretty evident, but it's been 3 rounds. PSA has taken every round in each example. So I want you to take a look at your cards. If you have both cards in PSA and BGS, I want you guys to look at them, check recent sales, and see whether or not this thing is true. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm overanalyzing something, but I think PSA right now is overtaking BGS in the One Piece scene. I don't know in other categories. I haven't checked the other categories. Again, this is not financial advice. Don't make rash financial decisions. I am just looking at this at a point of view that BGS is supposed to be better, but PSA is doing better numbers currently. Mic drop. The last but not least, it's my favorite card, Manga Luffy, OP05 OG, PSA 10 Manga Luffy versus the OP11 Gold Anniversary, PSA 10 Gold Anniversary Luffy. So let's look at the Gold Annie first. I've never owned this card, but it is nice, and I can't believe it's at like 12, 13,000, almost, you know, 11.5 right now, currently. 11.5 currently. It should be like a $12,000 card. I can't believe it's a $12,000 card. It started hot and it just never dropped. This, man, oh man, I've given up so many blood, sweat, and tears to try to acquire this card at $4,000, and I have missed my shot. Now it's all the way up to like 16K. it's being valued at 16,000. I mean, the last sale was like at 14,000, 13, 12,000, 13.6, 14,000, 13.6, 14, 14. I mean, if I want to straight swap it with my Otisig and just leave it at that. I don't know, man. This is nuts. I definitely am looking for this. It has been my favorite card since forever. I do prefer this over the nice gold, rose gold Luffy. But I do prefer this. In my eyes, this OG OPO5 Luffy won just because of its historical implications. OPO5 was the very first set that broke the internet for most One Piece, players and collectors at the time. Stores were selling out. I mean, I was working at LA Sports Cards at that time, and the very first investor whales came in, just started just whaling out, hitting the Otisig, hitting the Manga Luffy in front of me twice, and me having to just pick the box that contained the Luffy. Very, very begrudgingly salty about it, even 2 years after the fact. But man, oh man, this has set the tone for One Piece, and this is why it earned the $16,000 price point. And for me, this will forever be my grail. Once I get this in my collection and the serialized out of 700, I am done. I'm done. Done collecting. We'll focus more on the business side of things. Let's look at OP15. We ended the, for the collectors. This is for the collectors, the graded side of things. And just to let you know, even One Piece is going through a bit of a correction, but I think it overcorrected itself. The mangas have overcorrected itself. Even 2 weeks ago, they were priced very, very low. Right now is the time to buy. If I were you guys, just buy as many mangas as you can before it's skyrockets again. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. I've been buying whatever mangas that I feel are undervalued. And again, Nami is super undervalued to me. I think a lot of Luffy cards are up there. If I can paperclip my way into an OPO5 Luffy, I will. But that's just me. That's just how a regular collector like me can get there. If I can get there, you can. I went from 5 mangas to about 15 mangas. If I can do it, I want to give you guys hope too, and you guys can do it as well. So here is the OP15 EVO4 set. These are the single cards, and I cannot believe that Borsalino and the Rayquaza card did not get pair banned, but the SR Borsalino is at $57. Last night I checked, it was at 54. Now it's in the $60 territory. Again, if you are buying cards, I would not buy pre-release. Let's just say that. I will not buy pre-release. I would not. Wait for the set to cool off in 1 to 2 weeks after post-set release. That's just me saying just cool off of it, because this Borsalino is good. I'm gonna need about like 20 of them, which is kind of sad. I have my my blue yellow Nami, my purple yellow Robin, which I've been so in love with, my yellow Luffy that I've been actually playing really well with. So I kind of want to start taking it to locals. So yellow Luffy it is for me. But again, OP15 is kind of meta changing, especially for yellow. Yellow gets a lot of support, but this card, the Zoro card, man, it gets rush if there's a character, if your opponent has an 8k power or more character, it gains rush, and it gives your leader plus 2,000 power until the next turn. Bro, this is so good for my RP Luffy. My RP Luffy is so back. Like, it's it can give you a run for your money. But the reason why I say yellow is getting a lot of good support, especially yellow Straw Hat, because I'm playing yellow Luffy right now, it's this card. This card, and then I'll show you the other card too. The Gear 5 Luffy is just the the ability to block with a 12k is kind of like insane. So if you have 6 or more Dawn cards, this card gets rush. And then whenever someone activates a blocker, you reveal up to 1 card from your top of the life cards, and this character gains plus 1000 power during this turn per 1 cost of the revealed card. What if it's a 10 cost? Holy crap. That's a crazy finisher right there. That is an awesome finisher. So again, I don't know if more options is good for me or bad for me, but I'm already confused as to how to build my Robin. Should I keep my Thriller Bark package? Should I just stick with the Straw Hat package? But I really like this card, especially for my yellow purple Robin and my Luffy. Oh man, having this as a blocker is crazy. If you have 1 or less life cards, give this card in your hand -1 cost. Bro, I can play this for 9 and still have a freaking Gum Gum Giant for your ass. What is going on? And it gets blocker? What the hell? Yeah, dude, and your leader gains plus 2000 power until the end of your opponent's next end phase. What in the world? Robin is so going to banish your ass so hard, and it gives me so much defense. What does this Robin do? Oh man. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Oh man. Then play up to 1 Sky Island type character with a cost of 4 with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. Oh my gosh. That is actually kind of crazy. Because this is Sky Island too, right? Like, this has to be a Sky Island card, right? Let's see. I can't even read that. Da-da-da-da-da. No. Straw Hat, the 4 Emperors, Egghead. Uh, that is not Sky Island, but I'm thinking the other Luffy is Sky Island. Where is Luffy? Luffy. I can't find him. This has to be Sky Island. No, yeah, Sky Island Straw Hat Crew. Yep, perfect. I mean, there are so many 1-2 combos here. I don't know whether to stick to my Thriller Bark package or go to the Straw Hat Sky Island / Egghead, because I do plan on using that Borsalino right here. Borsalino and the Rayquaza. Let's see. That's going to be crazy. This card is going to be crazy. Oh my gosh. It's already $1. Yeah, and I have 30, 32 of these. 32 of these for all my yellow decks. It's an easy like $2 card at some point. It's going to get there. I should just sell it on TCG Player. But yeah, that, I mean, again, we definitely talked about EVO3 market prices, the market prices for boxes, cases, singles, market prices for BGS 10 versus PSA 10, and right now PSA has a slight edge on BGS cards when it comes to One Piece. For whatever reason, people place a premium on BGS for the possibility of a black label, but I guess it's wearing off right now, and that is where the market is responding. Where the market is responding, PSA should be a lot faster, should be a lot more readily available, and more PSA pop-ups are happening, and that is why, in my opinion, that's why PSA has a slight edge, because of those reasoning. And we also went over OP 15. We are actually going to go over the last couple of things. Is the case price, which is insane. It's almost $3,000. 2,800. Holy shit. People are listing it for higher. That's insane. Call it $3,000. Oh man, okay, it's not that bad. 250, kind of normal-ish, right? Better than the 350 we're doing for EB03. So 240, 250 on the market for a box of One Piece. So we have God normal mode instead of like nuclear mode. So that is great. No trucks, no delivery trucks have been stolen, maybe, but people are getting it very quickly now, more quickly than usual. So if you can grab your hands on it, you can, but you might want to wait for after pre-release. So yeah, again, thank you for tuning in to my market watches. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me um, figure out what to do with market watches, but also it gives me more confidence to do more of these. So I do appreciate all of your love and support, and thank you for checking out my channel. And I'll see you on the next market watch next Saturday. All right, have a good one. Bye.